Good morning, welcome to Casa TexPina. It's build day number 111. It's Friday, which means we're still working tomorrow. There's a lot of activity going on this morning. No true one focus, so just a lot of small jobs that need to get done. We've got the electrician putting in the line for the main line coming in from the from the power line to the panel. So he's doing the conduit rough-in for that. They're still working on the fence posts from all the way here in the front to the side. They're working on the beam that goes over the top of the garage door opening. Still working on the roof line, doing purlins and the strapping for those purlins. Also looking at still doing the dormer window mock-up that they started yesterday afternoon. The engineer should be by sometime today to give a blessing or further instructions, whichever it may be, for that. Again, and of course, we've still got plaster coating going on inside the house as well, and some hollow block going on above the stairwell. So they're getting that up to height so that when they're ready to put the ceiling on the stairwell, they can have that done and it's all there at the same spot. Okay. Yeah, so as I go around, people are already in place. I'll go around and show you guys where everybody's at this morning, and let's get started. Alright, so we're going to do a little walk around this morning, see where folks are at. Mr. Dominador is back today, and he's sifting through the pile of sand that we received yesterday. So they have a certain size that they'd like to see the sand. So they're sifting it and getting rid of the pieces that are a little bit too large. Back on the other side of the street, we've got people working inside the garage area. They're continuing to work the beam that goes across the garage door opening. They're going to start forming that up today. Wouldn't surprise me if we see concrete in that this afternoon. The gentlemen on the back side of the one bag mixer are hauling mortar for the plaster coating operations throughout the house. Up above the garage area here in this corner here, we're doing concrete hollow block extension, putting that up a little higher. So that the ceiling will have the correct height coming down the staircase. And our welders are on site. Looks like they're getting ready to join a couple of purlins together. I know they are still working purlins and the strapping going around the corners of the purlins down to the edge. And they're also working the dormer window on the other side. I'll show you that as we get to it a little bit later. Here in the front, putting forms onto the fence post columns coming into the main service gate. They have already pulled the forms from the concrete beams and columns that we poured yesterday morning. So they're working on those. And the grinding noise you hear on the inside is our Budagero. He's working to remove some of the hinges and place them on a different side. He's placing them on a different side of the door. We did do some field changes. Some of the doors that were supposed to open left are now opening right. Just minor changes, onesie twosies. Morning. Okay, so we got the plaster coat going here in the walk-in closet for bedroom 2, as well as in the Jack and Jill bath for between bedroom 2 and 3. And up above is the hollow block I was telling you about above the staircase. So let's see what we have going on in the rest of the house. Yes, so Mr. Edmund is doing most of the grinding. And we're cutting down the strapping to the size they need for the welders. And they are continuing to work the skeleton frame for the dormer window. Once the engineer blesses it, they'll move forward with it. And back here on the fence on the back, they are still putting in hollow block up to the full height. And they're continuing with this from right to left, north to south as it may be. All right, so that's about where most folks are at. Like I mentioned, the electrician is placing the large conduit that he's going to use to pull the power from the main lines down to here. It'll go through the meter box, which will be transferred to the post, and from here it'll go into the main panel sitting inside the garage. So that's everybody this morning. Oh, sorry, missed one. Another guy doing plaster coat. Mr. Ben and Mr. Jerome here doing plaster coat inside the mother-in-law's suite, maid's room, extra bedroom, however you want to call it, here in the garage. All right, we're going to do a mid-morning walk around. First thing we're looking at here is the welders starting to put on the fascia piece. It's a drop down for the fascia on the edge of the eave line. So the edge of the roof line where it's going to drop down. Underneath of here will be the soffit or the eaves that go up underneath. Okay, let's go ahead and come on around. Still working on forms for the large beam going across the garage door opening. Looks like we're mixing some more mortar. We had another large delivery of sand. For those of you in the Philippines, when you get to do the construction, please make sure to note when the contractors come through with the large trucks. Sometimes your sidewalks are not built to have these large heavy trucks go over the top of it. Pretty much every time our trucks go over the top of the sidewalk and the curb, it gets shattered. Thankfully that's in our contract. All site damage will be repaired by the contractor at the end of construction. So another place they gotta look at fixing. All right, looks like they're doing some more plaster coating on the inside. We'll get to that when we get there. In the interim, up here on the front, we're still working on forms for the fence posts coming in to the main service gate. And up here on the front, they're already putting in the top row of hollow block that they're going to work around all the way around 3 sides. And they'll follow that up with another beam up on top. Okay, let's go ahead and work our way inside. Okay, like I said, we're doing some plaster coating. Looks like the stairwell piece already got up to the height that it needs to. They're already putting plaster coat over the top of it, and then they're gonna start plaster coating the rest of the way going up the staircase. So we're working on plaster coating the inside of the walk-in closet for bedroom number 2. And Mr. Jericho here is still working on the plaster coating on the inside of the Jack and Jill. So we got 3 walls done. He's working on number 4. Okay. Still got the noisy action going here in the living room area. They're grinding out some of the hinges and repairing them, putting them onto another side. So the hinges were welded on, so they're grinding these out, and they're going to fix it and push it over to the other side, because we made some changes in the field as far as which doors were open, which direction. So that's what they're working on with that one. And still mixing mortar out here, and also in the outside, underneath where the welders were. Our plumbers are also working in that area, putting up the supply lines for the hot water heaters. So they're taking from where our water filtration stand is going to be, and it's going to go up and connect to the hot water supply tank, a hot water solar hot water heater tank at the top, before pushing out to the rest of the house. All right, work continues after lunch. Let's go see what everybody's working on. Fence is still going up. We still got plaster coating going on here in the maid's room. And the plumbers have been roughing in the supply line for the solar hot water heater, and that'll go up to the ceiling where it needs to go on the top of the roof. They're putting in PPR into the garage bathroom. All right, and here we're lifting up the eave, or for the fascia. This is the face plate for the fascia. Here they call it senepa. Senepa, S-E-N-E-P-A, and that's their word for a fascia. So it's the front edge of the roof line. It's going to look like this. What it is, you'll have the front edge on this, and then underneath will be the eaves. So that's what they're working on there. They'll put that up into place, tack it in, we'll go back and weld it later. Okay. Still grinding away on the door frames on the inside. And building forms. Let's go take a walk through. I'm not going that way. I'm gonna walk around and we'll get to that part in a minute. Okay. Looks like we're making some more mortar. We're still working on forms for the big beam over the garage door. So we're still grinding. Do a little bit of cleanup, making forms. We got we're doing a little bit of more plaster coating up on the staircase, starting to round that around, and including plaster coating. Still working on the inside of the bay window for the walk-in closet in bedroom 2. And Mr. Jericho is still working on the top half of the plaster coat and the shower bath area for the Jack and Jill. Okay, chipping out a little excess on the door frame here. Make room for that opening. There will not be a door there. That's just going to be a smooth opening. And we're putting in the hollow block, a above the front porch. So this is where everybody's at today, this afternoon, post-lunch. CCTV guys are back this afternoon. We're continuing to do rough-ins with the conduit. This is for later use. Some of the runs that they'll be doing from the comm cabinet throughout the house for Ethernet, for wireless, for the Wi-Fi, and also some CCTV on the inside of the house. Now over here on this side, looking out above the master suite, we've got conduit running, and the man in the yellow shirt is getting ready to push that to the outside of the house, and that'll be the beginning of the CCTV loop around the outside edge of the house underneath the eaves. Among all the rest of the noise today, we also got the first course of hollow block on the bottom in the big picture window, and this will be the base for the picture window to sit on. We're gonna go take a walk around. It's about 4 o'clock. Guys are starting to wrap up here shortly. Looks like they poured concrete. Well, they mixed concrete, so they're getting ready to pour it somewhere. My first guess is going to be that it's going to go in this column, or this beam right here. But if not, the other place that Mr. Gabby could be going is some of the fence posts on the front. Let's go take a look. Makilawas. Yep. So they're starting to pour in some of the columns, the fence posts. Let's start. So we'll have concrete in those. They are still doing plaster coating for the bay window. And we're still working on forms for these 2 fence posts up here in the front. Up on top, still working hollow block for the top of the front porch, being supervised by Miss Emie there in the window. All happy to be here. Look at those smiles and buck teeth. Woohoo! All right, I'm gonna sneak a peek underneath, go check and see what the so Mr. Chucks is doing anay bato again, roughing in some more conduit for the switches. Gonna go up so that they can tie into the lights. Here I've got the Tech Vision guys, our CCTV guys that are covering up their plaster coat. They're drilling from 2 days ago. They're also doing the rough conduit to the guest side of the house. This will be for both Wi-Fi and CCTV and Ethernet. So we're doing all 3 in the house. So let's go ahead and take a look. And over here doing the same, continuing the rough in for the conduits, working their way, and this is going to be to start roughing in for the outside, because these conduits are putting in place to go to the CCTVs out in the eaves, and they're going to work their way around the household. All right. Okay. I'll sneak through the room, the wall that's not here yet. Plaster coating coming along. Go up to the rough finish. Almost done. Okay, so over here on the south side of the house, we got a couple things going on. Let me go get on the other side of the fence and I'll show you guys. Okay, so the welders are continuing with the fascia, placing the fascia here along the side, the edge. That's one thing going on. He's also reinforcing the purlins. Put a little angle iron around the edge and then long weld. The plumbers have put in the sewer line coming out of the shower area, coming down. It's going to have a big clean out. This will be lowered. Top of grade as far as dirt will be at the bottom of this grade beam right here, and then it'll slope out to the edge of the fence. Also then coming over here, this is the exit for the this is the exit for the toilet in the water closet, and then this is going to turn and go around the house out to the septic tank, which is going to be way over there in front of the Bahay Kubo. In place. Did a little tack weld to hold it in place so they can let it down a little bit at a time as they work their way to the other end. Again, this is the senepa, as they call it, or fascia. Senepa? Oh, senepa. I've been corrected. It's senepa. It's spelled the same. S-E-N-E-P-A. Senepa. All right, one last major pour job. They're pouring the big beam across the garage door opening. So they'll get that poured today. And then we should be looking at pulling those forms. I'm going to talk to the foreman, see about getting those forms pulled on Monday. Give it the whole weekend to cure. That's a big beam. It needs to have time. Well, it's yabba dabba do time. The guys are putting away their tools, with the exception of the CCTV guys. They're still wrapping up. They'll be done here shortly. A lot of things going on today. A lot of noise going on today. I swear almost every time I turned on the camera, somebody hit a grinder, somebody hit a buzz saw. Something was going on. It was high frequency all day. But a lot of work got done. Everybody was here today. As far as our crews, we had the welders here, we had the plumbers here, we had the electrician, and the CCTV guys, as well as our regular workforce. So lots getting done. We poured a couple of posts on the fence, and we poured the big beam across the garage door opening. So that's been poured this afternoon. I did ask the foreman to make sure that the forms on that one stayed on until Monday morning, to be able to give it plenty of time to cure. I wanted to make sure that we got all the strength out of that as possible. And they will leave the jack struts underneath to hold that up, support from the bottom for at least another 2 weeks. Tomorrow they'll be adding on hollow block over the top of that. CCTV guys will be back again tomorrow to continue all their rough-ins. They're roughing in right now all the locations for the cameras on the outside. Then later on they're going to continue roughing in CCTV and wireless and Ethernet on the inside of the house. Okay, so let's see you guys back here again tomorrow for a fun-filled Saturday and payday for these guys. So until we see you again tomorrow, if you like today's video, please give us a big thumbs up. If you'd like to see more of these videos, hit the Casa TexPina star right over here and you'll be subscribed. Hit the bell icon just below the view screen and you'll be notified of our next video upload for your viewing pleasure. So until then, we see you again tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. Have a great afternoon and God bless. Thank you for watching. If you liked today's video, please hit like, subscribe, and hit the little bell icon to be notified when our next video becomes available.